It's going to be a very short video. It's a video about something really dear to me, which is about how to get things done. And especially I know loads of people constantly struggling to get things done. If you're also struggling to get things done, then you might want to check out the philosophy of Joseph Campbell, or Joseph Campbell as a person. This person was just fantastic, really. I'm like a broken disc. I've been speaking about Joseph Campbell for years. He is a psychologist who created a whole theory called the hero's journey. The idea is that you are the hero in your own story. You are the hero in your own story. Now, what does that mean? It means that just like any person, any hero, any character, you've got certain things that you need to do, certain battles that you need to go on, certain missions, certain quests. Now, if we think about heroes from stories, they usually have like a sword and they have to go out and they usually have to rescue some sort of virgin princess or capture back the gold. And in order to do these things, to get the princess or the gold, they need to kill the dragon. And the amazing thing about Joseph Campbell is that, well, the first thing is that the person was a genius, and he analysed like tons and tons of stories, from like religious stories to mythological stories, and even like folk stories. He analysed them all. That was like his job. That's what made him famous. And he saw that there was a recurrent pattern, and he documents this pattern in the hero's journey. He basically saw that all these really famous stories that mean a lot to us, that really touch our buttons, they follow a recurrent theme, which is there's some kind of initial phase where the hero is just like living his or her normal life. And then there's a problem that gets introduced. For example, there's like a dragon or some tribe that starts menacing the village where the hero lives in, or somebody steals the gold, or somebody steals that princess, that lovely girl who the hero was about to like fall in love with, or who had already fallen in love with, and he wanted to marry her. So there was always like some recurrent aspect of this kind. And this forces the hero to go on the journey. And along the journey, there's like several people that help the hero. And the hero basically needs to lose himself or herself, needs to let go completely of the previous version in order to be reborn into this new, upgraded version of the hero. And so there's many movie directors that use the same like story arc, because that, again, like there's a reason why all these stories that Joseph Campbell had identified, why they follow this arc, why they follow all these different stages of the hero's journey, because it really matches our brain, our psychology. We respond well to this perfect, beautiful package, this format. This is the one that touches us the most. So Joseph Campbell is awesome because he identified that. He identified this recurrent pattern in all these stories. But what interests me more, actually, rather than the recurrency of these patterns, is the fact that Joseph Campbell didn't just stop there. Joseph Campbell showed people. He created even his own psychiatry practice, and he started using this. And he started showing people that if you think about yourself as the hero in your own journey, that's got your own quests to fulfill, to carry out, then people have huge, tremendous benefits from this. Now, for example, just like the hero in a mythological story has to go out and has to slay the dragon, and that's something that the hero really needs to do, it's necessary, then you as well in your life, you've got bills to pay, you've got these big, nasty, emotional things that you think, I need to write the ending to this article, I need to phone the tax office. These things are big things. these are your dragons that you need to slay. And if you start thinking about your life like that, it helps you to abandon that emotionality that's involved. It helps you to step back a little bit and to see yourself just as in a video game, almost, or like a hero in a story. And so it helps you to stand back and to have this more observational approach where you're not so in it, it's not so emotional. You can let go of that emotionality and you can start to see life for what it is, that it's a series of dragons and monsters that come towards you, and you need to slash them, you need to destroy them in order to reap these benefits, in order to save your village, in order to save the virgin princess, in order to claim back the gold. And so definitely this stepping back, just looking at yourself and trying to live your life more as if you're in a video game where you think, I'm in it, I need to do this. I've made a series of choices and I find myself here. What am I going to do? Am I going to just stop? Am I going to fail? Or will I do these things? So that is like a really big aspect. And as I said, Joseph Campbell has used this in order to help people to quit smoking, in order to help people quit hard drugs. And if you see that next cigarette that's there as the dragon that you need to kill, that becomes incredibly powerful. So this idea of and this is me interpreting it slightly. Different people have given different interpretations, and I welcome you to check out anything you can. Joseph Campbell is lovely to listen to. It's lovely person to listen to, and just a fantastic educator, and yeah. So, but as I said, my interpretation of why this proves to be useful is that abandoning the emotionality, looking at your problems. So abandoning the emotionality is one aspect. So just like stepping back a little bit seems to be very important. And targeting your problems, rather than it being, and maybe that's still related to the emotionality, but rather than it being just some kind of negative mess that's inside you, if you just put a big target on the thing that has to be done, like the dragon that has to be killed, no bullshit. We're not talking about falling in love with that task or anything like that. We're talking about murdering that dragon. We're talking about slaying the dragon. That thing, that phone call to the tax office, just do it. Just kill that dragon. And so that emotionality helps to identify really what it is that has to be done in your quest. And if you can slay one or two dragons today, then that will be fantastic. And so so the emotionality aspect, identifying what it is that are your dragons that need to be killed, and the empowerment. It gives you the idea that other people have been on quests as well, and this is your quest. You are the hero in your own story. That tends to empower people a lot. And we're all here together. We're all battling these. We all have our own dragons. Whether it's somebody that's getting over a coffee addiction or getting over a cigarette addiction, whether it's somebody that just can't concentrate, and so if you just can't concentrate and you need to study something for school, for an exam, then just keeping your head on that next paragraph. That next paragraph, that's your dragon. Just keeping your concentration on that next paragraph. And so everybody, I obviously don't know what your dragons are. I know what my dragons are today, and just that. And I hope you found that useful. As I said, I'm like a broken disc. I've been speaking about Joseph Campbell for years, and yeah, I strongly encourage you to check out Joseph Campbell and to listen to this person. obviously don't start wasting your time on listening to loads of videos, and just get into doing what it is you need to do. And I hope you found that useful, and as useful as I have. And I've spoken to people before who about this Joseph Campbell, and they didn't know anything about it, and they started to cry. They started to cry because it's it can be really powerful stuff. This empowerment and this letting go of, because it forces you to take responsibility. I'm not saying it's easy to have everything like messy and negative inside you, but quite often to have everything messy and negative inside you, you can keep it there, and that messiness, that chaos inside you is you're not addressing it, and that could be easier. It's not enjoyable, but it can be easier. Instead, for somebody to start to really think what it is that their dragons are, then that can be really powerful, and it forces you to then start to think how to defeat your dragons. And I hope you found that useful, and I wish you a lovely day in fighting your dragons, or your dragon. All the best.